to find the man with the hot dog. You don't know where the hot dog's from. Where is the...
He compares his eating style to that of a wild animal, quote, like out of a trash can. He's feral. He's a raccoon in a man's body. Oh, did you ever take ballet? Do you know ballet? He said no, and I quote, I think there's a ballerina inside me. So within this wax figure resembling a human being, there is now a raccoon and a ballerina coexisting. But it doesn't stop there. He has used the word disassociated before, but he says that that's too negative, more discombobulated. And I quote, like a dog in an elevator, and every time the doors open, there's a whole new world, and it just can't figure out what's going on. That's like every day for me. This is a 33-year-old man who says he feels like a dog in an elevator, basically saying that he has no object permanence. Like every time the doors shut, the world outside the elevator just ceases to exist. Not like he forgets, gets lost, just ceases to exist, like a baby, you know. When parents play peekaboo, the baby's not just like, oh, where'd they go? When a parent covers their face, they just cease to exist. They no longer exist, which is upsetting to the baby. Why do we play that game? That's horrifying. He's a grown adult person who never developed object permanence, and I think that's just how he lives his life. I think once he walks into his apartment and shuts the door, like nothing exists outside of whatever reality he's created for himself, because I know it is not the same reality we're living in currently, or at least not the same one I'm living in. Once he goes back to his apartment or wherever he lives, whatever trash can, whatever dumpster he crawls into at night, does he just power down? Well, no, I think he stays animated, but I think he just either leaves our universe and exists in a parallel one, and that's why he's like a wax figure, like they had to astral project him into some kind of vessel in order to put him into our world. But either way, I think he just like sits upside down on a couch, you know, with like his head hanging off where your feet should be, and is staring at a TV with static playing. But what we see is static. He's actually reading his information. 1,000-mile stare, no one's home, and then eats microwave pasta. This man's 33 years old and he's doing that. And he's got a girlfriend. I think she lives with him too. He needs a babysitter. He needs a full-time, like, adult babysitter because he is still a child. He doesn't have object permanence. He doesn't exist in this painted reality. I'm not fully convinced he's human. I don't know how he's not just gotten lost in a field yet. Like, I fully expect the end of his legacy. Like, I don't think anything bad's gonna happen to him. I think just one day he's gonna go for a walk in a field and then just never return. But I don't think it's gonna be on purpose. I think he's just gonna like space out and just start walking and then get lost and just be like, this is my home now, and just like live in a field like a wild mouse. If he were to go missing one day, I would not be worried. I would know he's okay and that he's just taken on a new chapter to his journey in this life. He said, and I quote, "There's a little gremlin that lives inside of me that thinks, just say something shocking. You're only here for a few minutes. Say something terrible. There's a kind of perverse glee I get from that, but I've given my publicist a number of heart attacks." So for those of you keeping track, that is now a raccoon, ballerina, and little gremlin living inside of him. I think he's talented, but I also have a deep-seated fear of him. Like, I don't think he's dangerous, but I also wouldn't want to be left alone in a room with him because his presence would be so unsettling. And he would say something that would permanently change me as a person. I'm just not ready for that. I don't think I could ever be ready for an interaction with him face to face.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
This is my fortress of solitude. Anonymous couch, anonymous room, anonymous hotel. A gauntlet of trolls. Oh, I must be hungry. I always get these thoughts when I'm hungry. This city is a labyrinth designed to mock me.